Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. And it's a warm welcome because I know a lot of you are hurting because of CPS. Some of you may not know who CPS stands for or what's it all about. Well, I'm the guy that's going to help you with your CPS matter. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not Mr. Davis. I'm a loving father and husband who has 43 years of marriage and helped raise 6 children. My life is very, very complex. But I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. I have over 61 years of life skills and 61 years of working. I started to work at 15, so now you know my age, 15 and 30, and 15 and 61 will tell you how old of a dinosaur I am. I don't feel that old, but I am old. I think I'm about 20 years behind in my biological years. Now, mathematically, it does equate that, but I'm a loving father and a husband and help raise 6 children. And I have 43 years of marriage experience. But unfortunately, I had experience with CPS that was very nasty and bad. My 3 children are still living at home at the time, were victimized by CPS. They were trafficked into foster care and abused and hurt. They still are suffering today. CPS is not fun. The agency I was involved in was very corrupt. They lied. They embezzled money. I can go on and on how bad that the CPS entity, and I'm talking about, I'm broadcasting live from Surf City, USA, south of Los Angeles, and I'm 3 blocks from the beach. That's the warm California sun behind me. And the beach is not too far away. I can see the beach. That's nice. See the waves. I've been a surfer all my life since age 7. That's 69 years ago. You're probably wondering, for some of you that are new, what is a CPS? Now, we have several people in the room, and the way it works in here, that we're respectful to one another. It's not about politics. It's about the child protection system. Now, I'd like to either have a comment or a question from you, starting off with your first name, your city and state, or if you're from outside the United States, your city and country. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. This is a live broadcast around the world. Anybody that has internet can see me live. Whether you're in Tavarua, Fiji, or Mount Fuji in Japan, or in Leeds, England, or Edinburgh, Scotland, anywhere they have internet, you can see me talking live. Now, I've talked to over 2,600 people, and I'd say about 500 are from around the world. The other 2,100 is from all the 50 states, including 3 or 4 from the same state. I have 50 to 75 people that are family here that come in here daily. Now, I have 3 shows, one at 8 o'clock in the morning, one at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then one at 6 o'clock. I'm on the Pacific Standard Time, not Standard Time, but Daylight Time. We sprung forward 2 weeks ago, and we sprung forward an hour. We went from Standard Time to Daylight Time. So we lost an hour there. I don't know why we do this and why we do. I mean, that's another subject we talked about. Some states don't practice it, like Arizona doesn't practice daylight or standard time. So it's even more confusing. because I think Arizona is on the same time as we are in California. During daylight time, I think they're an hour ahead of me. They're on the same time zone as Mountain Time, but I don't know. Um, Tennessee's funny too because half the state's on different time zones. I don't know what the necessity of having different time zones by 1 hour. I guess supposedly the summer months are longer, so they can push back the time so that you'd have longer daylight times, I guess. In the wintertime, the winters are shorter. So you fall back. Well, wait a minute. You fall back. Oh, we are in the spring. I didn't realize that March is the spring. You fall back in the winter months, the early winter months, and you spring forward. And that's to take advantage. I think it stays out daylight longer so that people work can get more daylight in. I think that's the rationale behind it. Now I have several people in my room. Again, I'd love to hear from you. I can talk, but it's not the talking that'll help you. It's your questions so I can zero in on what is ailing you. What is your problem? How can I help you? What are you going through? How many children were taken? What are the ages of your children? How did it happen? Do you allow them in your house? Do you talk to them? Do you let them take your children? These are all important questions because the CPS that you may encounter may be negative or bad. Not all of them are bad, but there are a lot of them are bad. Percentage wise, I don't know. 2,600 people have talked in here. That's 100%. They all said had bad CPS, but 2,600 does not represent much of the population. There's more than 2,600 people in this world. Anyway, I like to talk about your concerns, your questions, your comments. Now, I too was a victim of CPS. My children were trafficked illegally. They were taken from me when they weren't in danger. They were hurt in foster care. They were punished in foster care rudely. It wasn't until I hired an attorney that I was able to get my kids back. I tried to fight them just like you may be doing so without attorney or using the court appointed attorney, which is a joke. Our Constitution says that you can have attorney at any part of your legal matter, such as the arraignment or in the investigation part. A lot of people don't know that. When you hear a knock at the door, don't answer it. It's important they'll leave you a message, a business card, or a note pinned to your door. Then after a period of time, you can come out and take a look. Or if you have a camera, you'll see who's out there. You'll hopefully see. Or if you have a peephole in the door, you can see. But wherever you do not make sound or noises, because they're trying to get in this house. They may not have enough evidence against you or enough things, so they want to look at your house to see what they can dig up more on you. They want to talk to you, so they trick you in saying stupid answers. A lot of the CPS entities are scoundrels. They lie. There's no ethics with that group. Now, again, I asked for questions that works best in this room. Now, the child protection system is what I call CPS. And it's supposed to protect our children from abuse and neglect. But supposedly 1,000 cases every day go unreported. Out of the whole United States, 1,000 cases go unreported. Now, if you have suspected child abuse or suspected negligence, They're supposed to do something called family reunification because studies have time and time showed the best parents raised children are the biological parents. So if the biological parents are going through hiccups in their life, like doing drugs, not being consistent, maybe breaking one of the parenting skills, that can be easily repaired, but it's going to take some time. Are you willing to put in the time? A lot of people can't get through the front door. They came, they took the children, and now the children are in their custody. And if it's a bad CPS, that means it's going to make a lot of money off your child. They're going to try to create, financial hardships on you. Now, I know most of you are very frustrated in whatever your case is. I can't tell you because you got to tell me. So I rely on you to communicate. Now, the key to success of hanging on to your children or getting your children back is have an attorney. And I've hired one. His name is Vincent W. Davis. He worked for me to get my kids back. His number he can reach at 888-888-6582. That's his law office. He has other attorneys doing other matters. Now, the area of law you're in is called dependency law, supplemented with family law and juvenile law. Those three areas of law is what you need to do. Criminal law is not going to help you. So I implore you to use an attorney. If you don't do so, this is what can happen. You'll never get your child back or you'll lose him or her. But you need to get the right kind of attorney and one that's experienced. That's why I keep mentioning Vincent W. Davis. Yes, he costs money. I know money is hard to come by. I had to sell my forever home for a quick sale to get money to pay him. Now, again, all you have to do is put your first name, your city, and your state, or your city, and then ask your question or make your comment. Now, we have 8 rooms that channel into this room. 1 Facebook room and 7 Facebook and 1 Now, I know it's hard. It's hard to listen for me for an hour. It's also hard for me to talk for an hour. That's why comments help break things up. But I do mean well. I do want to help you. In order for me to help you, you got to tell me, what's going on. How can I help you? It's free. It's not going to cost you a dime. Now, looking on my page here, I see no comments yet. Now, this morning I talked a little bit about child trafficking. That seems to be going on. We've had news about it. The Epstein matter was about child trafficking. Got a lot of men out there. Women should not be exploited. Young children should not be exploited. Furthermore, they should not be raped or sold off in the sex industry. Now, I do love emojis. If you guys want to express yourself, thumbs up, smiley faces, even stars are much appreciated. Now, Vincent's picture, his name is posted right hand corner. There's a website called stand.store/attorney VWD. He runs specials on there about his services. Gives a lot of information. Check it out. Now, my case was horrible. I keep talking about it. It keeps getting me further and further depressed. I lost a child from CPS. That child wants nothing to do with her mom and dad. She divorced us. Why? She was coached into doing that. The social worker was really mad because we caught her in a perjury. She's on the stand talking about the woman that's the sister of my wife. Anyway, she'd been putting drugs in his system. Anyway, it was awful. Only a doctor can prescribe drugs or administrate drugs. There seems to be no standard in there. Now we're halfway through the show, and I've had no questions. I wish I had some questions or comments. It makes the room so slow. It even puts me to sleep. But I'm wide awake. It is hot. It is very, very hot. I got my oh dear, I forgot my tie today. This is my afternoon show. I forgot to put my tie on. Well, I'll button my collared shirt. I'll make sure my tie is on for the Sunday show. For the evening live stream. I wear a nice leather jacket to look professional. And I when I come across professional. Hey, Tony the Tiger. There she is. My girlfriend from New York. She has a 14-year-old child. How's he doing? I'll be on at 6 p.m. my time, Tony, and you be that's 9 p.m. your time. 9 p.m. your time. It's cold there. I know it's cold. New York is really cold. I send warmth from the California sun to you. Lots of warmth to you. And I'll be on this evening at 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time, because you're on the East Coast. Tony is from Ostenago, New York. She is a victim of CPS. Her son was taken away from her he was not in danger. I want to call in tonight if not somehow blocked like the first time. You won't be blocked. It's just that right now I'm using one device. I'm trying to get I was trying to get my computer going, but it didn't. I have a frayed wire on the plug-in. Anyway, I have a new plug ordered. Shoot. I thought for sure I could get it going. No, I'll have to work on it after the show. Anyway, the power cable is split open and the wires are disconnected and they're not making a good connection, so I don't get a charge to the computer. It's a brand new computer, 6 months old. And the power supply has gone out. The AC adapter, sometimes referred to as a brick. Yeah, Tony says her son's being alienated from her. That's so true about CPS. They will alienate family members from each other. I know it won't be blocked on your end. The first time I ever called you into the show, I tried you 3 times and my phone just wouldn't let it go through. I thought I was blocked, but I was using my cousin's phone and I ended up getting through. Remember when they took my son the first time to the hospital, Fox Hospital in Anigta, one not New York, one not I don't know how I thought it's Ostenagle, but it's not. It's one Onta. Sounds native Indian. Anyway, Tony says where he was abused every possible way. Yes, I remember that. A kid could be abused just like me, which is something I promise my kids they would never go through. Yeah, Tony is carried over. She was in foster care herself. Sad part about foster care, if you don't get your case purged, it'll continue to follow you, especially if you're youth. One of the first things you do when you turn 18 is get your criminal record and foster care record clean. If you have any drugs or any arrests and stuff like that, so you have a new slate when you start at the age of 18. If you don't, police will follow you, CPS will follow you, and the same cycle will repeat. It's sad, but that's what they do. Corrupt ones do. It's only the corrupt. Now, Tony's from Wanata, New York. I got to get that down. I probably pronounced it right. Wanata. And Tony was abused when she was a small girl growing up. I don't know all the particulars, but she did tell me she was going through that. And she didn't want her kids. I spoiled my kids. I wanted them to have a better life than I did, so I bought them everything underneath the sun. I could because I had a job that was high paying at the time. Little did I know that when I lost that job, my whole life would go really downhill fast. And my life started changing after I got my new forever job. I had moved from a company I've been there for a long time in 2009 and moved in 2009 to the new position. But in 2010, in August, we had to close our doors to general contracting, which means I was out of a job. My owner just couldn't finance and start a job without getting paid. Because I had acquired $32 million of work for them to do. And they were on public funds awarded by the state of California. But unbeknownst to me, the state of California was going bankrupt and they need access to funds. And so they grabbed my 53 million and wrote me IOUs. Well, a lot of good IOUs did at the bank. I tried to get them started with credit lines. I couldn't get them started. So I had to tighten my belt, told my family we have to live like Spartans now. We don't have time to go and do world travels like I used to. No more Portugalinas in Brazil. No more Portugal. No more Canada or Grand Canyon. No more traveling, even camping locally. It was hard. I couldn't go to Catalina, which is off my doorstep, 26 miles. I can see it. But anyway, Tony, you have a criminal case tomorrow, I thought you told me, on Wednesday. What is it about? How can I help you? How can I help you? I want to help you, Tony. Oh. Now, Tony says she never put her kids through it, and guess what happened? Her son's going through it. Is your son turned 15 or is he still 14, Tony? Is your son still 14 or is he 15 now? Now, I have a key to success to fighting your case. If you want to get your kids back, you need an attorney. And why I do that, here's a comparison. If you have open heart massage, if you have open heart surgery, and they have to work on your heart, take it out, repair it, put it back in, put a new heart, wherever it is, you need a specialist. You need what's called a doctor. And doctors have to go through a lot of education, training, and an internship. Later, they have to be mentored. Have to work in the profession, follow another doctor before they do that delicate surgery in the brain. Well, that's what CPS is all about. An attorney. Only an attorney can help you with CPS. You can try it yourself, it won't work. I tried. You can try to use a court-appointed attorney or a public defender. Wasted time. They give you 5 minutes, but they're back in court again. They spend their whole day in court handling, hundreds of clients. See, that's what CPS does. They keep them so burdened down. They have too many clients. They don't have time to talk to each client and do it effectively. They're not made to have to win the case. Now, Tony, have you run out of questions for me? I want to know how I can help you with your criminal trial tomorrow. What are you being criminally accused of? And are you using a court-appointed attorney or did you get an attorney yourself? Or maybe you're doing it pro bono where you got an attorney that will do it for nothing. or pro se, where you fight it yourself, which is doomsday. That is a terrible way to do it. You never fight for yourself. It's not right. Now, my case, got worse and worse as time went on, especially when I was fighting it myself. You won't make it fighting yourself. It's too hard. It's too hard. Okay, you're getting the paperwork. Okay, Tony, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to help you. Yes, Tony, I'm here. And the other people in the room, all I need to know is your first name and where you're located, your city and state. And if you're outside of the states, your country. Anyway, Tony says, but let me tell you, let me show this so everybody can read along. But let me tell you how it happened, though. I made the statement about being concerned about sexual abuse with my son. Then all of a sudden, I also took the hospital to the Supreme Court because, wait a minute, why would you go to the Supreme Court if you're talking about sexual abuse with your son? Were they implying you had sexual abuse with your son? Did the hospital accuse you? Is that why you took him to the Supreme Court? Now, the hospital refused to let me in to see my son or talk to him. And the crazy part was on May 6th, I guess of last year, my son went over to my sister-in-law in Cheryl's house and he was playing with his cousins. So, how did he get to Cheryl's house? He plays your cousins. So, Cheryl was your sister-in-law. Now we had to go to the Supreme Court because the first time in November last year, my son was brought into the hospital because of behavioral issues. So I went in there. They were fine and fine with me. They were actually. Why would they go to criminal court for behavior issues? Behavior issues would be handled in CPS court unless trying to understand. Um, Go on, Tony. I know it's slow and hard, but that's okay, Tony. I'm here to help you. Anybody else, please kick in a comment or a question. I can help more than one person. Tony is part of my family. All of you become part of my family. Okay, the hospital refused to let me in to see my son or talk to him. And the crazy part was on May 6th, my son went over to my sister in law, Cheryl's house, and he was playing with his cousins. And we had to go to Supreme Court because the 1st of November last year, my son was brought to the hospital because of behavior issues. So I went in there and we were fine with me. They actually were. I don't understand, why would you still go to criminal court for a domestic matter? I mean, there's got to be something missing here, Tony the Tiger. Back this up a little. Last year in November, he had behavior issues, so I really just wanted to scare him, but not as bad as the cops did. Okay. Further, Tony says, in November, he had behavior issues, so I really wanted to scare him, but not as bad as the cops did. OPD is what he has. So they came out. There was a battle in his room, like it was officially misconduct, is disturbing so. But when they got him out, I went to get him shoes, and this is wintertime in New York. He had no shoes on. He just had his pair of pants, like sweatpants on. His word, but these three cops literally sat there and dragged him out of my apartment with no coat, no shoes, no shirt. And then I got told because I grabbed my son's shoes, was getting my stuff, to follow behind the cops like we're going to really 2 minutes behind them, get a hold of them. Okay. Further, Tony says to follow behind the cops like we were really 2 minutes behind them. I got told by some of my neighbors, one of them even took a video on Snapchat and posted of the OPD cop body slamming my son. Oh, that's terrible. Tony says our way down to the cars from our apartment, and then they got to the hospital, a Fox hospital. So I got there a few minutes after them. I was really upset because there was a whole bunch of cops there. Then Tony says, like for a 14-year-old, while he was 13 at the time, there's way too many cops back there. And from every what I do, I could say precincts like they had OPD, which is a city of one cop that they have state troopers or the sheriff's department. And they had Hardwick Security, which is one of the Now, Tony says they had state troopers. Or the sheriff's department, they had Hartwood Security, which is one of the colleges that two in college in this town. So they had Hartwood Security and Sunny Security when I got there. So not only was there the state troopers, there was security by the hospital. Inside the ER, the nurse tried to deny me access to my son. My phone is screwing up right now. It'd be easier if I just called in. So I'm definitely going to be here say around 9 a.m. my time. We'll see. Okay. Tony further says, go back to this whole hospital thing. I speak it would be better, but all in all, the cops were not very cooperative. There was official misconduct. There's so much wrong with the police this town likes. Tony further says, until they have a thing where they organize everything, they do not out there based on statistics and politics. Tony says this town gets all its money in the summer from Dreams Park people that come out there for the summer, and during the wintertime, they get all their money from the drugs. That's why we have so much. Okay. So this town gets all its money in the summer from the Dream Park people that come out here for the summer. During the winter, they get all from the drugs. Okay. Tony Furs says, meeting homeless people out here because the homeless people run and do drugs. And they already lost their kids to the system and they're hooked on the drugs because CPS is organized with them. Yeah. CPS is bad. And I'm so sorry you're going through that. I am so sorry you're going through that. I'm glad you're sharing me it. I'm still trying to get what your court case is tomorrow about. You see, you got a criminal matter. What are the criminal charges against you? What have you been accused of criminally? Tony further says, and that's why when my lawyer told me when I went in there, she wanted me to just do what CPS wanted me to do. So I needed to learn to fit in and conform to the community. I told her I wasn't. Well, here's the problem. Was the criminal charge first, or was CPS charged, or they did it together? Born to fit in, my lawyer was working with CPS the whole time that I was defending myself. This whole, but he was a court-appointed attorney. He's going to do no good for you. You know that. But I'm on my fourth lawyer, so hopefully he'll actually do the job. I have Marcy Law Office. Well, you can keep getting appointed corporate report attorneys, but you're not going to get what you need. Charges are 1 second. There's 3 felonies, 2 misdemeanors, and it's all wrong. Watch your profanity, Tony. I don't allow profanity in here. The charges are okay, there are 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. Well, that's tough. No, the criminal charges are at the end of the case because it was a tactic to intimidate me to conform, which I refused to. I'm going to continue to fight. I'm going to open my mouth. Well, out here in California, the way they work is that if the police are involved with opening the house or getting in or forcing you to return home, the detective's going to write down his notes and he's going to formally charge you. Now, the social worker charges you for neglect, then The children's going to charge you for incorrect. I'm looking at my notes. No, the criminal charges, how can they be at the end of the case? They usually go simultaneously, and CPS will do nothing until your criminal charges are dropped or finalized. Before court, I don't care who's in this town comes after me or is upset with you. Again, watch the language. But the boundaries have been crossed. When my kids have been abused, they don't deserve this. I understand. But in order for me to help you, Tony, I need more information. I need the charges criminally that you've been charged with. And the CPS charges. Now, the CPS charges one or the other, abuse or both. It's either abuse or neglect or both. Now, criminal could be all kinds of charges, so I don't know what the criminal charges are. I know they don't deserve that, Tony. I know they don't deserve that. But I'm trying to help you, Tony. I'm trying to help you. Or to help you, I need some information. Now you have total of 5 criminal charges, 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. Those are pretty heavy. CPS has charges. Did they charge you abuse, neglect, or both? Neglect or both? Now we have about 12 minutes left of my show, or actually 8 minutes left of the show. It'll be 2 o'clock. My show goes from 1 to 2. I have 3 shows a day: 8 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 o'clock in the evening. Now I'm on Pacific time out here on the west coast of California. So if you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead of me. You on the Central, you're 2 hours ahead of me, and Mountain Time, you're 1 hour. What else do you have to tell me, Tony? We're running short out of time. We have about 7 minutes left. We have 7 minutes left, Tony. I want to help you. I do want to help you. All right, you got all your paperwork in front of you. Great. So these 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors, what are the charges, the criminal charges? Let's start off with your felonies and then your misdemeanors. Now, Tony, we're cutting it down to the wire. We're going to have to go this evening, I'm afraid. I have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left before I have to end my show. Now, I have several of you in here. I still not see any other comments or questions except for Tony. Does anyone have any questions? All I need is your first name, your city and state. If you're outside the United States, your country, your city and country. Right now, I've been talking to Tony from, I used to call it Ocenego, but it's called differently. I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's called Wanata. It may be a Huron name. There was the Huron Indians in New York, the Mohawks. Wanata is a Native American Indian name. Wanata. I know in Lakota Sioux, Washtay. I can speak Lakota Sioux a little bit, not to get me in trouble. Washtay is a good greeting. Washtay. And of course, everyone knows that Tonka is buffalo. Tonka is buffalo or bison in Lakota Sioux. Now, Tony says her son was abused every possible which way as a kid could be abused, just like Tony was, which is something I promised my kids would. I've already read that. Sorry, I'm getting the paperwork. Okay, Bob. All right, I guess it slipped down. That's right. There's concern about sexual abuse of your son. The hospital refused to let me see my son or talk to him, and the craziest part was on May 6th, my son went over to his sisters in Sherald, and he was playing with his cousins. We had to go to the Supreme Court because the 1st of November last year, my son was brought to the hospital because of behavior issues. So I went there. They were fine with me. We're in custody. Okay. Tony further says, back, okay, he says, back this up a little last year in November. He had behavior issues, so I really just wanted to scare him, but not as bad as the cops did. OPD, the Wanata Police Department said they came out. It was a battle room like, wow. It was officially misconducting a disturbing. So, but when they got him out, I went to get his shoes, and this is wintertime New York. He had no shoes or just had his pair of pants like sweatpants on that he was wearing. But these three cops literally sat there and dragged him out of my apartment with no coat, no shoes, no shirt, then told him because I grabbed my shoes, I was getting my stuff. Tony further says to follow the cops behind like we were really 2 minutes behind. Then I got told by my neighbors, one of them even took a video on Snapchat, posted, and the Wanataka Police Department cop's body slammed my son. On our way to the cars from our apartment, they got to the hospital, AO Fox Hospital. I got there a few minutes after that. I was really upset because there was a whole bunch of cops. Now, Tony says like 14-year-old mine was at 13 at the time. There were too many cops then. And for every what I did say precincts, they had a police department cop, which is city cops of one on top cops. So the one on top police department has state troopers. I think I've read a lot of this. Inside the yard, nurse tried to deny me. Okay. We go back to the hospital thing. I speak better, but all the cops were cooperative. They have a thing where they organize everything to do out there and based on statistics and politics. This town gets all its money in the summer from dreams like the park people. They come out for the summer. Okay. This town gets all its money in the summer. I already read that. Geesh. I don't know why it keeps moving down. Okay, here we go. I sent an email with a little bit of background on the situation. I'll look at that. Hey, Robin, you're here. Robin Holt is here. She's another one of the family. And I think Robin's from Ohio. But you came in at 1:57. My show ends at 2:00. It ended at 2:00. Robin says, I sent you email a little bit. I'll go ahead and check the email. Tony says, I have first-degree harassment, second-degree aggravated harassment, criminal mischief, reckless endangerment, disorderly conduct. These are the okay, but you're going to court for those tomorrow. You better have an attorney to defend you. And say funny because the same situation I did last time, like the same exact situation before, never got charges pressed on me. Tony said, Bob, I don't know why it went multiple times. Probably because someone got into my phone. Tony says, it happens every time I try to speak out, especially on your show. Like I can't call you or be static or does this. Let me type certain things that are inherited or my phone will just shut off. Robin from South Carolina, but live in Missouri now. I'm sorry, Robin. He's in South Carolina, but lives in Missouri. And Tony says Tuesday. What is Tuesday? That's today. Today is Tuesday. All right, I'm 2:00. I do have to sign off. So, Tony, we're going to talk more tonight at my 6 p.m. show. And Tony's from New York. Robin is from South Carolina, but lives in Missouri. Thank you for being here, Robin. I know you came on late. Of course, thank you, Tony, always. You're part of the family, been here a long time. So you have Tony from South Carolina, lives in Missouri. New York. And Robin is from Missouri, lives in New York. I thought we had more people in here talking. Just Tony did a lot of talking. I see it now. All right, I've talked to everybody. I thank everybody. You're all part of my family. It's been 59 minutes, 1 hour. I've been talking. It's 2:03 now. So I do have to go. There'll be a brief video at the end of my live stream. I'm on again at 6 p.m. and that is Pacific Coast time, West Coast of California. East Coasters are 3 hours ahead of me. And then other people, Mountain Time's an hour. Central Time's 2 hours. Eastern Time is 3 hours. You just got off work. I'm sorry, Robin. I don't mean to be leaving you. I hope to see you all. Oh, it's next Tuesday, Tony. Okay, we got some time. I will have a great day. I'll do a lot of praying and researching and hoping that you guys will be back tonight at 6:00. I can help you further. God bless you all. There'll be a short video. Please watch it at the conclusion of my live stream. This is Bob Pace signing off. Good afternoon.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith in